Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. I was watching a video, well actually it was brought to my attention this morning, a video that Laowhy did about how he escaped China and all of the rhetoric. I thought I'd do this or start this video out in front of a police station, videoing me and the police station and the police cars and all of the stuff that goes along with it, just to show you that it's not like what he says. I think the guy is a paranoid schizophrenic, and the video is mostly rhetoric about a paranoid schizophrenic's idea of how he perceives the Chinese and the government of China. Here's a bit of a quieter street. I do better in quieter places. It's an age thing. You'll figure it out when you're turning 60 next week. Oh my God. Anyway, back to this paranoid schizophrenic. He starts out this video saying, oh, a friend of mine was approached by a guy with a cell phone and showing him about, oh, the police are after you. Yes. Oh, and another guy gets a hold of him and says, hey, I'll show you this information if you delete it. Well, okay, well, did this happen? Probably not. No, I'll explain why. He says, oh, there's 3 government groups that had warrants out for his arrest or wanted to talk to him. And then he goes on to say, well, the traffic police want me because I've been riding a motorcycle around Gweilo and it's illegal in Gweilo. So, and then he says, well, and as I was going out on my motorcycle to do a video. So, you know, admitting on video in China that you're breaking the law is probably not the smartest thing to do. The idea that riding a motorcycle, traffic police want to talk to you, how would this guy get the information from the traffic police unless he was a police officer? It's just like anywhere else, guys. They're not going to give that information out to some civilian on the street. It just doesn't happen. So I got to call bullshit on that. And if they wanted to come and arrest you for riding a motorcycle around China, not only would they come and arrest you at your home, probably in the evening sometime, but they would also take your motorcycle away, impound it, and probably have it destroyed or whatever they do to it. And that's just the way of it. Okay, now he talks about the Security Bureau. Okay, it's basically not just Security Bureau, it's the Department of Foreign Affairs is what it is. And when a foreigner is breaking the law in China, the Department of Foreign Affairs are the people that will contact you. They know where you are. They don't have to, like he says, oh, people were, later on in the video, people were trying to find out where I live. Well, the Department of Foreign Affairs, I guarantee you they know where you live. The traffic police, I guarantee you they know where you live. So if they wanted to arrest you on a warrant of any sort, they would just come and arrest you. He talks about these warrants being a month old. This guy, oh yeah, I've had this for about a month. They're not going to hold a warrant on a foreigner for a month. They're going to come, Foreign Affairs is going to probably phone you up on your phone because, as everybody knows in China, your driver's license has a phone number that they can get a hold of you. Department of Foreign Affairs has a phone number that they can call you. How do I know this? It's happened to me on a couple of occasions where they've wanted to get a hold of me for one reason or another. They just phone me. That's all they do. And then the final one, he says, the army was looking for me for flying drones. A civilian had army intel in China. Well, I gotta call bullshit on this one because the army in China is not going to give a civilian intel on anything. And if the army in China, the PLA in China, wanted your ass, it would be in a cell in 5 minutes. These guys don't screw around. So this whole story is a made up for YouTube bullshit story, and I know that. Like, I've been in China going on, like, I'm coming up on a full 17 years, going on to my 18th year. Like, I've been in China about twice as long as this, I'm gonna call him a turd, was in China, and I sort of understand what's going on around me. And I understand how the police work. Actually, I just did a video for the traffic police here in Nanning City, explaining what a temporary driver permit is and how easy it is to get it. And I'm probably going to turn it into a video for my YouTube channel also. So I sort of have an inside understanding of how these guys operate. And if they wanted you, they would just come and get you. If they wanted to talk to you and say you're doing something wrong, they would just phone you. So, and this is what he says spurred him to run to Hong Kong. So as he runs to Hong Kong and leaves his wife and child behind in mainland China, she had her passport, trying to get a visa, I would imagine, at the American Embassy. So now she has to go to the American Embassy all by herself to deal with her passport stuff. And the child needed an exit visa because obviously the child has not been considered an American citizen yet, or doesn't have the documentation, or whatever, it doesn't matter. So this brave soul, brave soul, runs to Hong Kong and leaves his wife and child behind to deal with the fallout of his ignorance of being a YouTuber in China that spouts bad things about China, and then he gets paranoid and people play on him. Probably the guy that came up to him is a pro-China guy, hardcore, yeah, China. How can we scare this little turd into leaving China? So, oh, let's just tell him and we'll show him, and that'll be, and then he'll go. And it worked. Okay, so he goes from his home to Shenzhen and then crosses the border into Hong Kong. But during this thing, he's talking about, I heard somebody say Ma, and Ma is the translation of my last name. Well, every time you ask a question, it is Ma is at the end of it. Ni to tong ma. Do you have a headache? Ni bin lama. Are you sick? Ni ulama. Are you hungry? Ma is a common word. It's probably one of the most spoken words because it designates a question, and that's just the way it is. So he might have heard the word Ma, yeah, but lots of people, as I say, ask questions. All right. Oh, and then a lady comes up to him, and a police, and saying, "Are you going to Hong Kong?" Well, yeah, he's at the Hong Kong border, so people might ask you, if you're going to Hong Kong, are you coming back? Well, these are simple questions, and it's not, and I'm shaking and my mouth went dry and I didn't know whether I was going to make it out of China or not. I'll guarantee you, when you went to Hong Kong, because that's China too, if you were wanted by the traffic police, if you were wanted by foreign affairs, if you were wanted by the army, you would be picked up, and that's just the way it is. So it's not that anybody made a mistake, they're just not looking for you. You're feeling that you're more important than what you really are. The Chinese government does not persecute people. And interviewing people, now you don't have a journalist visa or permit. It's not even a visa, it's a permit. It's a status granting document. Anyway, every YouTuber in China could be considered a journalist if they cross that line. What is that line? I don't know. I've never come across any of that stuff, and I've been doing this for, I don't know, 3 years now. I've done interviews. I've done interviews. I did an interview with a police officer here a week ago, week and a half, 10 days maybe. So I've done interviews with people that work for Chinese television, big networks, newscasters. I've done, so like if that's gonna freak you out, you gotta be a paranoid schizophrenic. Anyway, when I look at this video, it shows the irrelevance of this person now in the Chinese world. He's going back to stuff that happened damn near 2 years ago and saying, oh, this is how I escaped from China. He's lost his content. His total understanding of his YouTube channel is China, and now he's no longer relevant in China. So this sort of screws with his ability to make money off the Chinese YouTube world. And as they become, and I talked about this before in a video, as he becomes, I'm not going to say they because I'll leave the other guy for later. As he becomes more irrelevant in the YouTube world, the stories that he tells are going to become more outlandish. There's going to be more bullshit. He's going to keep trying to make China look really bad, suspicious, or dangerous for those people that's all they go to his YouTube channel for, is to hate on China. And that's exactly what you're getting in this video. No authorities were contacting him. The army wasn't going to contact him. They're not going to come and arrest your ass. If the army wanted to arrest your ass, as I said, you would be in frickin' jail, and that's just the way it is. Those guys don't screw around. If the traffic police wanted you, they'd come and get you. If foreign affairs wanted you, I would imagine those police in the black outfits would come and find you and pick you up, and if they wanted to question you, well, that would just be what they're gonna do. And the idea that you think that you eluded the authorities in China is all in your head, because they didn't care about you. They don't care about you. Now that you've gone to the United States and put up so much anti-China rhetoric on the internet, I would imagine that could be looked at with the new security laws, sort of a subversive way of dealing with China. Will they issue you another visa to China? Absolutely not. It's just one of those things. Why would you issue a subversive person a visa to your country, knowing that that's all this person does is make money off of trashing out China? So, the idea of making YouTube money as a journalist in China, well, you're not making money in China, you're making money in the United States. You're in China, but you're not making it here. Your YouTube channel cannot be even registered here in China. You have to register it in your home country. If you owe taxes, you owe it in your home country. So, like, everything that came out of this guy's mouth during this whole video was just one bullshit story after another bullshit story, and all speculation and paranoid schizophrenic babble, psychobabble. And oh man, I look at this stuff and I think, well, Jesus Christ, you know, I've never really liked this guy, but some of his videos at the beginning were good because he was showing China in the proper light. Now what he does is he just picks the bad and the ugly out, blows it up way out of proportion, and calls that a video. Now it's garbage, and it's bullshit, and I'm calling him on it on this one. Anyway, that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Don't forget to resubscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. Don't forget to never forget, guys, never forget to put a couple bucks on the children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. It's for poor rural Chinese children. They just need a helping hand. We can give them that helping hand. Help me help them. Thanks for watching. Bye now. Oh, and one little note, there's no birds in China. Well, that's just bullshit. I did a video the other day in the park. There's like hundreds of pigeons. Every morning I wake up at 5:30 in the morning, the birds are outside my window singing. You know how I know? Because they wake my ass up. There's birds freaking everywhere in China. When somebody tells you there's no birds in a country, you know they're full of bullshit.